The Depression years of the 1930s were difficult for the nation. For the Ken-Caryl Ranch, it was no exception. Ranch owner John C. Schaefer took out a $300,000 loan to cover debts, putting up the ranch as collateral. When the note came due about a year later, Schaefer was unable to repay and in 1933 lost the ranch to his creditors. For about 5 years, the Ken-Caryl Ranch was owned by the National Surety Company, a mortgage insurance firm. The prize Hereford stock was sold, and without any investment in the upkeep of the buildings, their physical conditions deteriorated. Feeder cattle were in and out of all the buildings. A family who was leasing the Bradford Purley house at that time sheltered pigs there. Fortunately, in 1938, the ranch was purchased by William L. Allen. He had looked around Colorado and even considered the present-day Air Force Academy property before purchasing the 10,000-acre ranch. The National Surety Company had $340,000 invested in the ranch by this time. Mr. Allen offered $75,000, and the offer was accepted. Who was William Lloyd Allen? A metallurgist who specialized in the steel industry. Born in Glenwood, Minnesota on June 8, 1889, Allen, as a child, moved with his family to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He attended Pennsylvania State College and the University of Pittsburgh, where he specialized in iron and steel metallurgy. After college, Allen worked as a common laborer at the Carnegie Steel Company to gain first-hand and thorough technical training. This broad, early experience enhanced his successful career in the steel industry. Meanwhile, Allen married Helen Armstrong, who was from Pittsburgh. They had 2 sons, William Lloyd Allen, Jr., born in 1914, and Robert Armstrong Allen, born in 1916. When Allen moved to St. Louis in 1916, he organized the Valley Steel Company that later was absorbed by the Laclede Steel Company. In about 1918, he moved to Kansas City to become president of the Kansas City Bolt and Nut Company, which was organized into the Sheffield Steel Company in the mid-1920s. In 1930, the Sheffield Steel Company merged with American Rolling Mills, or ARMCO. Allen worked as a consultant to ARMCO until 1932, when he became an independent consulting engineer and moved to New York. He traveled to Europe and made economic surveys of several foreign countries, including Germany. In 1938, when Allen purchased the Ken-Caryl Ranch, his family first lived in the house located near the cattle barns, which is now on the grounds of the Equestrian Center. Then they moved to the former Kent Schaefer house located near the manor house. The manor house was in such poor shape that it needed to be remodeled before they could move in. The first floor was virtually one large room. Allen created the main hallway and constructed the front stairway to the second floor. The kitchen was enlarged and a garage added. Allen intended to be hands-on in the ranch's management, and for a few years he enjoyed ranching. He began to rebuild the Hereford cattle herd and to restore the ranch to its former glory. With the advent of World War II in Europe, Allen was called from his retirement because of his expertise in German steel companies. He and Mrs. Allen returned to the East, where he found himself traveling again as he helped to convert the United States steel industry for the production of war armaments. Unable to adequately operate the ranch from such a distance, by 1940 Allen was looking for a buyer. Estimating the value of the ranch at $400,000, he hired Paul Patridge, the president of the First National Bank in Golden, to manage the ranch and sell it for him. A 4-page advertisement with many photographs was placed in the April 1940 issue of Country Life magazine. The advertisement described the many beauties of the ranch, including its purebred Hereford cattle, sheep, and thoroughbred and Belgian horses, as well as the magnificent mountains, ideal climate, and beautiful rock formations. Crops raised on the ranch were alfalfa, corn, wheat, barley, oats, and rye. 44 buildings were scattered around the 10,000 acres in 4 distinct areas. The main ranch group was in the Central Valley, including the Manor House and the barns in the current Equestrian Center. The southern group of buildings included the former Man Ranch near Deer Creek. None of those buildings remain. To the north were located the various buildings clustered around the Bradford Purley House. The western portion of the ranch was in the mountains at an elevation of about 8,000 feet and consisted of a bunkhouse, a stone barn, and some corrals. Mr. Patridge contacted several interested parties, including a Philadelphia realtor named Joseph Minnesali, who purchased the property for $150,000 in 1944. In the late 1940s, when Allen returned to Denver, he invested in the Heckathorn Manufacturing Company in Littleton. He helped convert the company from the production of war projectiles to peacetime uses, such as specialty hardware and photographic products. Unfortunately, William Allen suffered a heart attack and died in Denver on September 28, 1950, at the age of 61. His care and improvements to the Ken-Caryl Ranch in the years from 1938 to 1944 continue to be appreciated today.